We're going to start this practice on our backs in Shavasana, taking a couple of breaths to relax, melt into our mats, and get present. When we're ready to move into Happy Baby, bend one knee, then the other, bringing the soles of the feet to the floor. Then knees come in towards the chest, feet up to the sky. Take hold of whatever you can get. Maybe you can reach your shins, maybe your ankles, maybe your feet. I like to use straps for this one, so I'm going to hook myself up here with a couple of loops around my feet. And when I've got a good firm hold of those straps, with my shins more or less vertical and my soles more or less parallel to the sky, I'm going to start paper clipping. Sacrum is grounded firmly into the mat at all times. Inhale to relax. Exhale to draw gently down with the straps, more or less straight down actually, and finding that nice stretch in the groin. Sacrum is grounded. Inhale, back out of the stretch. You're comfortable. Exhale, draw down. Just past the point of comfort, not to the point of pain. Breath is flowing continuously. Feet are flexed. Do 6 like that, then do some contract release, squeezing my knees in against the pressure of my elbows on the inhale, on the exhale, letting go of that squeeze, that contraction, and drawing down further into the stretch. Inhale, back out, squeeze. Exhale, let go of the squeeze. Pull down a little deeper. 3 of those is good. I'm going to take the straps away, cup my knees for a little hug. I'm going to set my straps aside and move into a reclining Gomukhasana. Cross your left leg over your right leg. Knees are together. The knees draw into the chest. I'm going to take hold of my ankles here. Maybe you can reach your shins. Don't reach your feet. You don't want to pull on your feet here. That'll cause pain in the ankle. And we'll paperclip here, inhaling to back out, exhaling to gently draw in, knees coming towards the chest, hands are pulling the ankles towards the chest, and maybe even apart from each other. Breath flows continuously, and we're gentle when we pull. We're not looking for pain. We're just looking for a nice stretch. Most likely you're going to feel it in the glute muscle of the top leg, in this case the left leg. But wherever you feel a stretch, you're doing good work. Breathe into that stretch and move in and out with the breath. Spending about a minute here, I'm doing 6 10-second breaths. Sacrum remains grounded against the mat. And switch legs. Unwind, bring that left foot back to the mat, cross right leg over left leg, knees are together, draw knees in, take hold of the ankles if you can reach them. And again with the paper clipping, inhaling to back out into comfort, exhaling to draw in just past the point of comfort. Your hands draw your ankles towards your chest, maybe apart as well. It's okay to play with it and find what works best for you today. Breath is flowing. We're not finding pain, just discomfort on those exhales. If you find pain in a knee at any point here, flex the foot of that knee. And if that doesn't fix the problem, then you're pulling in too hard. You need to back out or maybe give up the stretch for today altogether. Sacrum is grounded, breath is flowing, and unwind. Right foot comes back to the mat. And we're going to sit up here. I like to roll over onto my side to push myself up to a seated position with my soles on the mat, then hands ground behind me, fingers pointed straight back, and we can windshield wiper our knees back and forth here. And go 5 times in each direction, just lowering the knees far enough to the side that we're feeling a little bit of discomfort, not lowering so far that it's painful. And after 5 each side there, going to turn over into a tabletop position. All fours, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And I'm going to draw that left foot forward. Going to do a low lunge here. Going to use a cushion under the back knee. We want that back knee far enough back that we're off the patella. We're not wobbling on our kneecap. You can flatten that back foot against the mat. And we're going to paper clip here by inhaling the hips back and then exhaling the hips forward and down. We're looking for a stretch in the front of the right hip here. We're in a position of hip extension, and we can increase that hip extension not just by lowering our hip, but by raising our torso. So as you breathe into the stretch, you might find that you're able to bring one hand up to your knee. Maybe you'll even bring the other hand up to the knee. Gradually, gently, patiently lifting the torso and moving deeper into hip extension in that right hip. Breath continues to flow, moving in and out of the stretch with the breath. Inhaling to back out, exhaling to lower into the stretch. Nice and gentle. You can wiggle around a little. When it's time to change sides, ground one hand, then the other, then move that right foot back. Bring the right foot forward. Move the cushion back to support that left knee. Flatten the left foot. We're off of the kneecap. We're on the head of the femur here. And we're paper clipping. Inhaling to move hips back. Exhaling to move hips forward and down. Finding that stretch in the front of the left hip. Left hip is an extension. We can deepen that extension by moving one hand up onto that front knee. If we want to deepen the extension even more, we can move the other hand up onto that knee. The more we lift our torso, the deeper we move into hip extension in that back leg. And through the whole process, the breath is flowing continuously. And we're moving in and out of the comfort zone, just over the border. We're not going all the way to pain. When it's time to come out, ground one hand, ground the other hand, draw the right knee back, get the cushion out of the way, ground the hands, and push up to a downward facing dog. And we're going to lift up that left foot and bring that left knee to behind the left wrist. Left foot is behind the right hand. And we gradually move our right knee back. Look back, make sure that leg is going straight back. And we're gradually working our hips towards the mat. No expectations here. Hips don't have to come all the way to the mat. We just get as far as we can get without getting to pain. But to deepen this stretch, we can move our front shin more to parallel with the front edge of our mat. And we can also move our torso down and forward, working with the breath, melting into it, not forcing it. Maybe you can even get down to your elbows. Keep the breath flowing. Keep thinking soft. Maybe at some point you'll even want to cross your hands one over the other and lower your forehead to your hands. You go as far as you can go without feeling pain. This is intense. Pigeon is notoriously intense, and to stay in the pose, you're going to need to stay in your breath. So keep that breath flowing and keep thinking soft. If you feel any pain in that front knee, that's a sign that you need to flex that front foot. And if you flex the front foot and you still feel pain in the knee, maybe you need to flex the front knee a little bit, bringing that shin back from parallel to the front edge of your mat. Keep your breath flowing and keep thinking soft. Melt into this one. When it's time to come out super slow motion. If you're down all the way, come up to your elbows first. Keep your breath flowing as you very gradually raise your torso, grounding your hands, setting shoulders back and down to slowly lift your hips and draw your left knee back, staging for a moment in a tabletop position and doing some hip circles to let go of that deep external rotation stretch. Then we'll move back into the downward facing dog, lift the right leg, and draw the right knee forward. Right knee meets the right wrist. Right foot is moving towards the left hand. Left leg is pointing straight back behind us. The foot flat against the floor. The closer your shin moves to parallel with the front edge of the mat, the more intense the stretch is. Have no expectations. Find the shape, the position that works for you today. That means discomfort, not pain. And deepening into this means moving that shin more to parallel and moving the torso forward and down. A little shimmy with the hips here can help melt you into the stretch. Maybe you're going to come down to your elbows. It's not necessary. As long as you're feeling a stretch, you're doing good work. But the progression moves our torso down and forward. Breath is flowing, never held. As you slowly melt into this stretch, maybe you're going to cross your hands one over the other and lower your forehead to your hands. If you feel pain in the front knee, you're going to flex that front foot to tighten up the ligaments on either side of your knee. If you still feel pain, you're going to flex the knee, moving the shin back from that parallel position. Stay in your breath. It's intense. Think soft. Be with it. When it's time to come out, we come out in super slow motion, gradually raising the torso as our breath continues to flow, coming up to our elbows if we've been down on our heads, coming up to our hands if we've been on our elbows. Weight into the hands, tucking the back toes to lift the hips. Maybe we stage in a tabletop to do a few circles with our hips to get some blood back in there. Moving however we feel we need to move in the moment. Then grounding hands to push back into the downward facing dog. And moving our feet to the front of the mat. And keeping a flat back to stand up. Shake it out, both legs. And you're done.